A maniac murders models with a midget. We watched Scarred, aka Kandie Land. We watched it so you don't have to, so you know what time it is.
Horror, so bad it's scary. Splitting up is never okay. Plot, who needs it? Don't turn on the lights. Cars don't ever start, but that's alright. Running upstairs instead of out the door. Good acting, what do we need that for? Horrible horror, so bad it's scary. Enjoy the show.
What's up, Moongoons? Welcome to Horrible Horror, the podcast where we watch the worst of the worst in horror movies. Movies so bad they're scary. I'm your host, Marshall Hampton. With me is my co-host, my buddy, Mr. Aaron Southworth. Aaron, how are you doing? We've been gone a little while, but we're back.
Oh my God, we have been gone so long. So long. And it's really not, yeah, it's the summer. It's a lazy summer.
It is a lazy summer.
And we did an episode 2 weeks ago, but we kind of screwed the pooch, and it is now lost. We had the files. The files are still around, but they are discombobulated. They're encrypted. They're something. I don't know.
We have to work on them. We're troubleshooting.
They're lost in the Matrix. We need Morpheus and Neo. Those guys, I don't know, to hack it. I don't know. I was listening to a podcast earlier about the Matrix, so I'm down talking about it.
Yeah, so we're back. For those of you who stuck with us, thank you. I know it's been a while, but we're back. Appreciate it. With that, we have some news to announce, some exciting news to announce. First of all, let's go over the fact that we are going to be at the upcoming St. Louis Horror and Sci-Fi Convention, Contamination. We're going to be there November 4th and 5th. It's at the St. Louis Crown Plaza Hotel by the airport. So if you're around, come check it out, or come into St. Louis for it. Come in for a weekend, check it out. It's going to be fun. There's going to be celebrity guests, horror icons, from horror and sci-fi and all sorts of stuff. We did it last year. It was a blast.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. Honestly, if you're coming in from out of town, definitely. It's right by the airport. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So it's just fly in, get a hotel. There's plenty of them there. Come on out, hang out, check us out, say hi. We'll go out, get drunk afterwards. Every single person, I promise you. We'll go get hammered together. So
and we're probably gonna record a live show on the con floor. Probably Saturday afternoon, I'm thinking. We don't know what the movie will be yet, but we'll be recording. And now that leads us to our next bout of exciting news is we are in the process of redoing our logos. We're getting new logos made up. We have them art made. We're just waiting to get the actual files. And then once we get those, we will be having all of our new images and logos, which are going to allow us to finally get T-shirts made for all of you loyal listeners who want to support and show your pride and your Moongoon status. We will have shirts for sale at the con, hopefully, and get them on our website. But we're going to get shirts made, and we'll probably also get some stuff like probably make like some stickers or
beer koozies.
Maybe.
You know what I wouldn't mind getting is coffee mugs. Coffee mugs made. Because I don't know, I've been collecting some coffee mugs, so I want a horrible coffee mug.
I'm sure we can figure out something to do with that.
I think we can do that.
But yeah, it's exciting news. So that's coming down the pipeline very soon.
We couldn't really do it before because, it wasn't exactly the most legal thing.
There are trademark issues. It was borderline, but it was still like,
Boy, that sure does look like a Jason mask.
Yeah.
No, it's just a hockey mask. You sure looks like a Jason mask to me. Yeah, so we kind of got the kibosh put on it.
But these new logos I think are awesome. Our designer Ven did an amazing job. I think
he's a friend of mine, friend of ours, friend of the show, Ven Phenomenon. He's a designer. He's put this together for us.
Something like a phenomenon. Something
Vent is
like
like
a
a
phenomenon.
phenomenon.
Anyway, so yeah. Let's move on to this week's movie proper. It is called Scarred, a.k.a. Kandie Land. Another one of these...
Hello, Scarred, a.k.a.
Kandie
Kandie
Land.
Land.
It's one of those weird movies that for some reason has multiple names, which I'll never understand.
Okay, I couldn't find it under Candyland. I really couldn't. I checked under like iTunes and Amazon, and Candyland wasn't coming up. So I don't know where. But I see that it says Scarred, a.k.a. Candyland.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I mean, it's spelled with a K.
Okay. I think it's, yeah, and instead of a Y, it's like an IE.
And if you type it into like Google Play or anything that comes up, or like Amazon, especially Amazon, it comes up with like, like booty shows, like I'm Candy, like some black girl with a thick ass is like, I'm Candy, come to my land, it's like, what the no, I want to see someone killed. I don't know. I was kind of intrigued, I'm not gonna lie, I'm hey.
So yeah, and it's pretty much called Scarred. Is released on September 5th, 2013. Written and directed by Eddie Lengyel. Lengyel. You can find it on Amazon. I won't lie, I did not go see if it was on YouTube or anywhere else.
I did. I checked everywhere because I was just having some trouble with my Amazon account, and I checked all over the place. Couldn't find it to save my life. It was just Amazon.
It is free with a Prime account on Amazon. So at least
and you have it's under Scarred.
It's under Scarred. Yeah.
Yeah, and another thing that was weird is they had two separate images. They had one that was a 2013 release, and that one you could only find on the Fright Fest or Scream Fest, whatever it is, the Amazon horror add-on.
Yeah,
you've got it.
What's I have it. Something with an S.
Scream Factory.
It's not Scream.
Shock Vision. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's on that. But if you get Scarred, the 2015 release, and it has a completely different cover.
Huh.
Then you can watch that one through Prime.
See, that's weird.
It was really strange.
I didn't notice that. I only saw the one cover, and mine was on. Although I didn't go through the add-on service, I went straight through the Prime.
Mm-hmm.
And the cover I saw kind of reminded me of Bloody Bloody Bible Camp, in a way. Kind of, I don't know why, but it did. Just the colors, I guess, and also kind of reminded me of Kane too for some reason.
Right?
Yeah. And both those are way cooler than what this turned out to be. But anyway, yeah, there's only two people I'm going to mention in the cast. Most of them don't matter. One girl named Tina Grimm plays Brooke. She's probably the most experienced. She's got 60 credits, but they're all small and bit parts. So, I mean, it's not a whole lot, but I mean, she's working. And then the big name in this is Ari Lehman. And again, I hesitated to call him a name. I mean, he's been around in the horror horror industry, especially doing indies lately. And he was in another movie we did a while back. I don't remember what it was, but basically his big claim to fame in the horror world is that he was the very first on-screen visual representation of Jason Voorhees. He was the kid that pops out of the lake at the end of number 1.
Right.
That's it. And then after that, I don't really know. He went on to do, I guess, some indie stuff here or there, but he basically lives off the fact, I was the first Jason.
He swims in that lake a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know he went on to do, he's in a horror-themed band or something.
Keeps going back to that lake for more.
He really clings on to I was the first Jason, even though I was only there for 2 seconds. But anyway, he's
Can you
in
say
this
that?
movie.
I mean, you can't really say he goes back to the well unless that well is connected to the lake.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
So,
that's what he keeps going back to. But hey, man, I'd do it too.
Yeah, I mean, I get it,
no
but
shit.
it's like, yeah. So
I'd be like, I was the first Jason, motherfucker.
Yeah, but it's hard to say you were the first Jason if you didn't really do anything or really scary. I mean, well, I guess at the time.
Are you kidding me? That scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
That scared the shit out of me when I take it back.
The first for that time, that was a scary moment, but then that's it. Then you were never seen again. And then he became super cool. Well, and actually, then he became sack-wearing hillbilly Jason.
Yeah.
before he became the cool Jason. Anyway, so back to Scarred, the movie itself. We open with this woman She's posting this young girl. She's probably in her 20s. She's posting like missing person flyers around town, this small town. She enters a bar. She talks to the bartender about her missing sister.
Before we get to that part, when she goes, she's driving on a rural road in the middle of nowhere. Stops, gets out of her car, and this one post just nails this missing person poster to it. Who just nails the top. It's flapping in the wind. It's about to rip off. One, God damn it, put another nail in it.
Yeah.
Put it down. And two, foot traffic. This is a foot traffic reading material. You're putting this. Nobody's gonna see it.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. Is like nobody's seeing this.
It's just like, God damn it, come on.
Yeah, but she does end up at the bar, and she hands it out to the bartender.
That makes way more sense.
Way more sense. And then this customer sitting next to her hands him a flyer. He says, "Hey, I haven't seen her, but if I do, I'll call the number." Blah blah blah.
He seems like a normal dude.
Yeah, seems fine. We cut to this small, isolated house. Inside, we see an older, middle-aged woman. She's sitting on the couch reading, and on the floor next door is her daughter. And in walks the man we saw from the bar, and it turns out he's the husband/father of this family. Now, the daughter, when I first watched this, took me forever to figure out what was going on here. Because,
me too.
It turns out she's a little person, but she's not like a Peter Dinklage midget, where like the unproportioned limbs or head. Everything's proportionate. She's just compact,
incredibly small.
Yeah, she's like 3.
I don't know if that's a dwarf or little person. Or
I think
what
it's
we used to
little
refer to as midget.
I think
that I don't think you can
person.
say midget anymore.
Yeah, and I think dwarf was the one like.
Well, I think dwarf is okay. And now for people who used to be called midgets,
I always thought dwarf was more insulting than a midget.
Well, it's dwarfism, and I think Peter Dinklage is a dwarf.
Yeah, I want to say the dwarfism is the ones that have like the enlarged, like the limbs seem a little
head.
Or shorter limbs,
proportion
problems.
problems.
And she's proportioned. She's just very small.
Her head's a little big.
Not
much. It's enough that you go, huh?
Yeah, it took me a long time to figure out.
Something's off. I don't know if this is a little person or just a little girl who
aged
incredibly older features.
Yes, I thought the same. I'm like, what is going on with this person? I thought the same thing.
I gotta admit, I was intrigued.
It took me a long time to figure this out. So yeah, it turns out she's a little person. Anyway, the father shows the flyer to the family. The daughter, by the way, we have a midget, a little person in this movie, and you want to guess what her name is, listeners?
Tell them what her name is.
Well, her name would happen to be Tiny.
Yeah.
Are you shitting me?
That's just it's like just wrong.
It's so wrong.
It's not like Tiny Zeus Lister.
Yeah,
not like an ironic name. No, they're just being straight up dicks.
Yeah.
They're just being assholes right off the bat. They're just like, sup, Tiny? Oh, shit. They're not trying to sugarcoat that at all.
I know. I can't believe they did
There's
that.
no candy coating on this Kandie Land joke here.
So, anyway, yeah, Tiny says she saw the missing girl and that Jonah was playing with her. Now we cut to the missing sister. She's tied up to the hood of a car, some rundown garage or warehouse. In comes our killer Jonah.
She's in a little
she's like in a black bra.
And she's like got tattoos all over, kind of a short skirt. She almost looks like
Suicide Girl.
Yeah, very good. And but she's tied down. And one thing I did like in the detail is that she's tied down with ropes, and they close up on her wrist, and she's struggling. There's blood on the ropes. It's like those little things, those little attention to detail. I like seeing that. I was pretty happy.
Well, that's good. It's one thing they did right because they didn't do much else right. So anyway, in comes our killer Jonah, and he may be the worst looking killer I've ever seen in any of the movies we've done so far.
Yeah.
First of all, his mask is like a really cheap Leatherface wannabe knockoff that looks like it's 2 sizes too small for his head.
Yeah, or like I don't know, just
it's just
meat
bad.
that's been dried in the sun too long that he just taped to his face.
Yeah, it's really awful. And what makes it even worse is the fact that whoever created this decided to go with the absolute insane idea, or thought it'd be a good idea, to basically staple a long lock of hair to the side of his head.
It's like horsehair.
It's like a horse tail coming off of like his eyebrow.
Just like like right off the eyebrow. It's just this, and he's completely bald.
He's completely bald.
100% like big Mr. Clean.
Yeah.
You know, slap him on the head, bald.
And it's not like it's like a long lock of hair coming, like I said, off of his head. It's
Right.
stapled to the mask.
To the mask, and it's just in the corner.
Yeah.
And it's just one side of your
And
face.
it's like
is pretty.
3 feet long.
Yeah.
It's the stupidest looking thing. How did he take this guy seriously with that? I don't know.
What really blows my mind is how well it stays on.
Yeah, that too.
It's gonna get ripped off, but it just stays through the whole movie. I wonder how many times those assholes had to staple it back on.
So, either way, it's just ridiculous and comical looking. In no way, shape is this thing scary. Anyway, so Jonah, he has this large Bowie knife and a mallet in his hands. And he just walks up to the girl.
But but I like this scene a bit, you know,
Do
because
you
she's
really?
tied down.
Okay.
It's set in the mood. It's shot. It's dark, but it's lit up enough that you can see. He's banging on the car with the mallet and causing intimidation. She's freaking out. He's like smacking her like near her head, but not hitting her head. She's freaking out. But then, like you said, he just comes up behind her and just slits her throat, and it's a pretty good shot. It's not a bad. It's a good effect.
No, this effect, it's okay. It's not. We have definitely seen worse. This throat slitting is pretty solid here. Slits her throat, but that's not it. That's not good enough, because that alone would kill her. But then he just starts smashing her face in with the mallet, and that's it. And we cut to a group. Oh God. Okay. We cut to a group of models, and they're in like the green room, or they're getting ready for an audition, which is being held in an incredibly dark room that looks like the aging house of like a Jack Daniel's distillery. Like, first of all, why this room is so goddamn dark, I don't know, because if you're trying to audition models, you're going to want to see them, and you can't see them in like a dark ass room where the only light is like shining on these old wooden barrels that are stacked up like a distillery. I don't understand the logic behind this at all. And it really, in my mind, just makes this quote unquote audition, or whatever the fuck this thing is, very creepy and suspect. Like, what are they doing here? But these models are acting like it's like the biggest thing in their lives. Like, this is a big deal. And then we cut to a close-up shot of 2 fat guys talking on Skype. And one of those fat guys is none other than horrible horror Hall of Famer Sean C. Phillips, who's basically just playing himself here. I mean, that's exactly what he's doing.
He is playing himself. Exactly. He's playing Cool Duder.
Cool Duder.
There he is.
And the other guy is...
And who does he mention in the conversation?
He mentions... well, let's get to... The other guy's name is Bo. That's the other character.
That's the character, yeah.
Bo is trying to pitch Sean the script idea he's working on, and wanting to get Sean on board to be in the movie and do it.
And Sean's all for it.
Sean's all for it. And this is when, during the conversation, Sean mentions that he can get a hold of a fellow Hall of Famer, Ron Jeremy, since they've done movies together in the past.
It's so awesome.
It's so, yeah.
It's just like, yes. This is right in our wheelhouse.
I had no idea. I was like, oh my God. I can't believe this is happening again. So Bo's plan now is to use his Aunt Faye's modeling agency to get models for the movie just so they can see their tits. He even says that. I just want to see their tits.
Yeah, he's just like, we're going to see their boobs. And he's like, all right. They seem like totally
And Sean, when Bo says, we can see their boobs or their tits or something like that, you see Sean Phillips, he's like nodding his head real fast, and you see like his fat double chin is like flopping around. He's like, yeah.
He is so excited.
So Sean tells Bo that Bo will need the money to fly Ron Jeremy and himself out to be in this film, and that's when Aunt Faye calls. And she wants Bo to basically drive her 4 best girls up to some weekend photo shoot. And Bo says, you know what, I'll do it, but you're going to have to pay me $500. And she's like, okay, fine, whatever. So that's how he's going to get his money for the movie. So now we jump to a beach, which is really fucking weird.
Right.
Like, where Faye is telling her top 4 girls about this weekend photo shoot.
This scene is so bizarre.
And it's so fucking weird. Like, can we talk? Why are they on a beach?
What? They're lined up.
Yeah,
like they're about to go on
shoulder.
like they're about to go on assignment or go do something like an audition or physically active, and she's just telling them, "You guys are going out for the weekend.
Yeah.
You're doing a great job. Why would you line them up on the beach?"
I know, like, this seems like something you could tell them over the phone,
Or even if you had a
maybe
meeting
in the office.
Right.
But it's like, why are you on a beach just standing? It's not even like they're lounging around very casual. They're standing there shoulder to shoulder.
like at attention.
Yes, it's like she's a Joseph. It's like, this is so stupid. It makes zero sense. I can't get over how ridiculous this scene is.
It was so weird. It reminded me of what was that movie we saw where there was a reality TV show, guys, and they were on the tarmac about to go into the reality, like
Playing with dolls.
playing with
bloodlust.
dolls. That was it. Yeah. It was like almost that scene. Like
It
they're all
really
lining
is.
up, like they're about to embark on some major mission or something was going to happen.
They're about to
But
go through the
no,
Stargate or
They're just
something.
hearing about what they're going to do.
Yeah, it's like,
Here's what you're going to do this weekend.
I don't get, like, why the beach? Just call them on the phone. Say, hey, you're going on this photo shoot. All right, be here at this time.
I need a drink.
So, but yeah, they're just standing around aimlessly on the beach. And we meet the money man by name is George Sanders and the photographer Brody. George is a meaningless character. You never see him again.
Shit
Why
actor,
is he even
too.
fucking there? Who
Yeah, I
knows?
Yeah, like
He's just,
I thought he'd be like a pervy weirdo, but he wasn't really a pervy weirdo.
No.
Or I thought he'd be at least serious, but he kind of like made innuendo. And it's like
he's just he's really the most useless stupid character.
yeah,
Like,
and
there's
just-
no point for him to be
No.
there. Unless he was like a friend of the director, just, hey, you know, I'll be here, stand here.
I want to be in it.
Yeah.
I want to be in it. I paid $1,000. I want to be in it.
So Faye introduces 3 of her girls to their newest signee, the newest girl, Marley. Now, let's talk about these models for a second, because these are our main characters. We have the blonde model, Brooke, and the big tittied brunette. They're both cute. They're cute girls, and they're fairly good looking, you know. And the new girl, Marley, she's pretty. She's got a great body. But, like, the main girl, or the girl supposed to be, like, the star model for this agency, Jess, looks like Seabiscuit. She is
Whoa,
not.
No, the main girl is the new one. The new.
No, she becomes the main girl. But at this time, Marley is the new girl. But, so, I'm saying before
Okay.
the new girl, the
Seabiscuit.
big girl that before Marley showed up is this Jess girl who looks like Seabiscuit to me. Or, like, she's not a top model at all.
I
I'm
mean,
sorry.
she's just got a real big nose.
She's got
That's,
and some horse teeth, man. Her teeth are huge.
Yeah, I'm thinking she might be a member of the tribe. I don't know, but she's just got a big old nose.
Giant nose,
Yeah.
giant teeth, and
Yeah.
she's strong. Yeah, she's.
But I mean,
To
she's
me,
still
she's the least attractive of all the girls in this movie.
agreed, but still not a bad-looking person.
I'm not saying she's hideous, but I'm saying these are supposed to be models, and you're saying she's my top girl. They even say that in one scene. Like, she's our top girl. She's our biggest attract. She is not. This is a really bad modeling agency. So Faye tells them to have a good weekend, and that we just jump to the girls that are in some building now, talking about who's gonna fuck Brody the photographer this weekend. What the hell was having the point of the scene on the beach then? Like, why?
It doesn't make any sense.
You could have had this scene in the building. Faye could have walked away, and then he said, okay, hey, who's going to fuck the photographer? You don't need 2 different locations. And then as soon as they have this conversation about who's going to fuck the photographer, they leave the building, and that's the end of the scene. You never see this location again.
Right.
What is that? It's just a stupid, bad filmmaking. I don't get it.
Well, it was wasted. You know,
Yeah,
they're just it's like they have wasted motion.
It's like, hey, we really want to use this lobby floor, so we'll figure out a way to, but just, why not just have that whole, combine those 2 scenes into one scene and be done with it?
Yeah.
That just, I don't know. Anyway, so Brooke and Asia's the big boobied one.
Goddamn.
She's got some big old boobies. They both say they're not interested in fucking Brody. Asia turns out to be a lesbian. So Jess is all happy about it because she gets Brody for herself, and the 3 of them leave. That's the whole scene, like we said. It's pointless, retarded. So we cut to Marley, who's in Faye's office, where she's told by Faye and George that she's going to be the new face of the modeling agency. Faye has her giant tittied assistant show Marley out.
And that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, this assistant has like fucking crazy eyes, dude.
Yeah,
like,
she does.
I swear she wants to either fuck Marley or kill her and then fuck her.
Or she has no soul.
Or no soul. I mean,
she just has no soul. She's just, this is how humans act.
And at this point, we learn that Marley and Jess are supposed to be best friends. Marley leaves Faye. And Faye and George gush over how much money they're gonna make off Marley.
Marley's hot. I mean,
she's the best looking girl. She's hot. Her body's amazing. And then George says to Faye that they better pray that nothing happens to Marley's pretty face this weekend at the photo shoot. Dun dun dun.
Right.
Yeah. And that's it. You never see George again. So the girls, they all meet up with Bo and Brody. They have lunch. They talk. They chit chat. Whatever. And they're overheard by...
Yeah, they're eating at a diner.
They're
sitting down eating at a diner, and they're all, like, playing, like, oh, who's going to see me naked? Ha! They're, like, playing flirty talk or whatever. And some people overhear them, and they're like, oh, sorry. It's like, we overheard you saying you're going to go to this candy camp.
Yeah, up to the camp. And this is Ari Lehman and his wife, or at least his character's wife.
Mm-hmm.
And Ari warns, of course, like, don't go up there. That's bad. Don't go there.
Dude, his voice.
I know, it's so weird.
His voice is like...
I don't even know how to describe it. It's so weird. It's such a weird choice he's
It's
making.
kind of like... Have you ever watched, like, on PBS, there's, like, From the Garden with Alan Smith? He's like this gay Southerner who's not quite gay, but he's definitely gay.
Okay.
You know, but he's from the South, so he can't come out. Or at least back in the 80s. He's been around forever.
Okay.
So it kind of talks like this, and I'm Alan Smith from the Garden. And this guy says, you guys don't want to go up there. It's going to be trouble. You know, like, his voice is like this Southern, feminine.
Yeah.
Like,
and he's got like long... curly
with
like permed hair and then like
with
a crazy
handlebar mustache
with like upturns
yeah.
and then like a pointy goatee. He's insane looking in this movie,
and
that
talks
voice.
like he's just gonna have a good old time with his fishing partner Chuck. You know, like, not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's just such a weird thing.
Yeah, it totally caught me off guard too. It's like, what?
Yeah, and his wife is this big-titted bimbo.
Yeah, like no, complete opposites.
Right.
Like, no way.
He looks like he should be sucking dick at a truck stop. And she should be at the next door strip club.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's awesome. I love it. Anyway, the main group leaves. One of the girls leaves her purse behind, and Ari finds it, and that's basically the scene. Now,
look, she left her purse behind. He's like petting it. We need to warn him. Yeah, because we forgot to mention that they're like, oh yeah, you shouldn't go up there because bad things are gonna happen. But they didn't go into it. They didn't.
Yeah.
You know, like the wife stopped them from telling the story. Then he finds the purse and he's like, maybe we should give it back. Maybe we should tell him.
Yeah. So the main group, they arrive at the campground. They check in at the main house, the main desk / house, and the campground is run by the family we saw earlier. Now we're gonna skip ahead a little bit. Tiny enters this old abandoned house. We're at
the campground, and these houses, there's like a couple houses or cabins, just random.
Yeah, this location is kind of weird.
It's strange. It's like more like someone's property.
It's basically
than
just like someone's farmhouse they're filming on.
Right,
it's not an actual campground.
But it's old and dilapidated. And Tiny walks in.
And she walks up to this house that has not one, not two, but 3 fucking couches sitting on the front porch. It's the most white trash thing I've ever seen. Like, there should be like an old truck on cinder blocks in front of this house.
I love that. I noticed it, but it didn't quite click until you mentioned it. This is like the plaza of white trash here. Look, I got 3 couches on the front porch.
So inside, she finds some human bones. This scares her. She runs out of the house and right into Jonah, who basically just like picks her up and carries her off like she.
And dude, my first reaction when I see this happen, it was like she walks in, she sees human bones on the floor, and she runs away like she's scared.
Yeah.
And she runs right into the killer.
Yep.
And I'm like, run, little girl, run! And she just kind of smiles. He scoops her up, puts him on his shoulder, and they're off to have a good old time.
Have a picnic in the park or
Right.
something. Who knows? Yeah. So we cut to Brody and Jess. They're getting ready to do a photo shoot. Up comes Marley wanting to borrow Jess's phone. Brody tells Jess that he's not feeling her outfit and wants her to put on something more earthy. Now, keep in mind, she's wearing like a light denim shirt, short jean booty shorts with boots. I mean, it's pretty
pretty country to me.
Pretty country earthy to me, yeah.
Like earthy. I was expecting her to come back in like Duck Dynasty, like camouflage or
so
something.
she goes
like
off
how
to change.
earthy do you want to get?
Yeah. She goes off to change. Brody does a quick solo shoot with Marley. Jess comes back in record time for being out in the middle of fucking nowhere, leaves to go change, and comes back in like 5 seconds.
Not even 20 seconds.
And apparently, to them, more earthy means a black and leopard print mini dress. So apparently that's more earthy. And this thing is like a goddamn cocktail dress. Like, this is something you go out to the club in. There's nothing earthy or simple about this.
He's like, oh yeah, that's better. You think it's really going to really catch the essence of this Midwest farm?
Yeah. So he takes some pictures of the two of them with his really shitty camera. This guy's like the worst photographer ever. Like, granted, they do say, "Oh, this is his first time shooting models. He's normally a nature guy," but still, he has one old dinky like old school digital camera. That's it. No reflectors, no crew.
He had one reflector. He showed it.
He had one reflector. And let's keep that in mind. If this is a big modeling agency, there's going to be a crew of people on these shoots. There's going to be makeup artists. There's going to be photographers, assistants. There's going to be all sorts of people.
There's going to be more than one guy. A guy with one camera.
And a fat guy.
And a fat guy just hanging out.
Yeah. And the models aren't going to be sleeping in fucking tents. They're going to be, come on.
God damn it. I am so sick of it being in tents and out in the woods. I just want to watch a movie that gets us out of the woods. And we did one. We did Ghoulies 3, but it's lost.
So Brody's like, hey, stay here. I'm going to go find a new location. Now we cue montage of Brody taking various pictures of all the different girls. During this, Seabiscuit, aka Jess, she flashes Brody her tits. Even though earlier she said I couldn't be caught dead being topless in Bo's movie, but I'm going to flash my tits on film for the photographer.
Well, okay. I thought about that too. I really did. The thought is that it's like if she goes on to film and it's, published and put out as a movie and she's just flashing her tits at him. He's not taking pictures, or if he does, he's not going to publish them. For his own private little spank bang collection.
All right.
So because I was with you, I was like, oh, but I was like, I kind of broke it down a little bit.
All right, we'll come back on that one. Anyway, so Bo pops up out of nowhere, just yells out, "Party time!" Takes his shirt off, jumps in the lake. It's so weird, like picture, Vogue, party time!
Just fat dude with no shirt. Party time!
And he like waddles himself into the lake.
Like you thought he'd go running in.
Yeah.
And he just he scampers like a toddler.
Yeah.
Like,
arms up in the air, yeah.
But he's taking these baby steps.
Yeah.
All the girls are laying out in a row. They all sit up at the same time and all go, yay! And go splash and play in the water as well.
Yeah.
And we get really weird.
More montage of girls
very
sunbathing,
choreographed,
splashing in the water. Yeah. We go back to the farmhouse where the family's having dinner. Tiny wants to know why Mama doesn't talk to Jonah anymore. This leads to an argument over whether or not Jonah is really dead. The parents insist that Jonah is dead and Tiny, of course, says he's alive and that she saw him earlier.
But this draws the ire of Dad.
That's the wrong. Yeah, this pisses the dad off. Like, wow. He loses his shit. He grabs Tiny, drags her into another room where we hear the sounds of me.
Yanks that little woman in there.
He's spanking the shit or just beating the crap out of her.
They just close the door, and it sounds like Macho Man elbow drops off the top rope. Just boom, boom, mac, swack. And she's screaming, and he's, don't you ever say it. And then, like, the woman, they're just showing mom in the kitchen looking fucking terrified. Just like, oh my God. I'm like, this is disturbing to watch. Like, we just watched a girl get her throat slit and all that stuff. Whatever. I'm like bothered by this. It's like twofold. It's beating your child and it's a little person child.
And a little person too.
Yeah.
So now we go back to the models, Brody and Bo. They're sitting around a campfire drinking out of tiny styrofoam cups. Molly brings up the couple from the diner, and right on cue, here they come out of fucking nowhere. In the middle of the night, they just appear at the campfire.
Hey y'all. What you cooking? Can I get some of that?
They walk out of the dark, join the group. The blonde woman, wife.
I just thought of it. All right, the Family Guy character, the gay, like the
Bruce.
Yeah, he's. Oh no!
Yeah, it's Bruce.
He's a lot like that. He's a lot like that. Lot like that.
So Ari Lehman's wife tells the story of the Kandies, and that the father thought the son Jonah was possessed by demons, so he took a razor to Jonah's face, slicing it up, and then the father shot the wife and Jonah, killing them both before shooting himself. That's the gist of it.
But lots of people believe that Jonah was still alive
Yeah.
because you could never find the body.
Yeah, that's what Ari says, that he didn't die because he still roamed the land around his old family's house, or his family's old house. And the models basically laugh off the story. Ari and his wife leave. We next
they're
see
just like, they're like, fuck you. And like, that girl Asia was being a real bitch.
Yeah, she was.
She's like, go fuck yourself. you guys just trying to scare us. Fuck off. They came all the way, brought back this purse. And then they're actually just like, nah, we're not trying to scare you. We're just trying to warn you. And they're like, fuck off. It's like, man, you guys are a bunch of bitches.
So we see Ari and his wife next. They're sitting in the car after leaving the campfire. Ari's all freaked out about Jonah, and his wife tries to calm him down by showing him her giant tits.
This was so retarded. He's just spooked the whole time. He's like, I want to get out of here. I don't like it. He's like, baby, just calm down. Why don't you just take it easy? And he's like, no, I want to get out of here. I want to get out of here. And he's like, I got 2 good reasons for you to stay. And whips out these giant fake tits. And then all fear is lost.
Yep. The power of the titties.
The power of the titties. This is his wife. Yeah. This is a man who's probably slept with her multiple times. To the point where it's like, no, almost a chore.
Yeah.
Not saying my life's like that.
Bitch, bitch, keep it in your shirt. We can fuck when we get out of the murderer's territory.
Exactly. Exactly.
We're back in the safety of our house, miles away from the murdering maniac. Then I'll fuck you.
God damn it.
But
power of the titties.
Yeah. But of course they start making out when I know a skinned dead rabbit on a rope comes flying in and lands on their windshield.
That's a first.
That is a first.
That's a first.
Ari
is like obviously made of plastic.
Yeah,
it's so like bouncing around. It has no give to it.
Yeah, it doesn't like. There's no like
that wet splat.
But, yeah,
like
it just
clunk, clunk, clunk.
Ari gets grabbed, pulled out the car through the driver door window, and he's never seen
again.
Then his wife's grabbed and pulled out of the car as well. Now we go to this old rundown barn where the wife's tied up, and for some reason she's now pantless. Like her pants are just gone.
But she's tied up like each arm is tied up, pulling her, so she's kind of like
standing up, but her arms are stretched out and tied.
Kind of
like
in the Da Vinci pose, if you will.
Yeah, Vesuvius Man.
Yes, very good.
So Jonah enters, chokes her for a moment, then shows her his face underneath the mask. Seeing this causes her to scream bloody murder. Jonah pulls out a large knife, starts slicing up her legs a bit.
Yeah. It's very torture pornish.
Yeah, it's very torture porn.
It gets torture porny, and I've said it before.
I know you don't like it.
I'm not a big fan.
I'm not that big of a fan either. It's like, it just whatever. So he slices her, and then he finally just slices her across the stomach, spilling out her poorly done intestines, and that's it. She's dead. And we go back to the models at the camp. Jess is smoking a joint with Brody in Brody's tent. After some crappy dialogue, Jess takes off her shirt, fucks Brody, but you don't see it. It's
the one
implied.
person who shows her boobies in this whole movie
It's the least attractive girl.
Seabiscuit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and then the wife.
Oh yeah, well that was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could have had some more boobies in there. Like Asia should have been showing those big
Right?
things. Yeah.
Oh my god, those things were so gigantic.
Yeah.
I was so like,
and they look natural too. Not
I was
fake.
so looking forward. I don't care they're fake either.
I know, but I'm just saying, I don't really care either. But I'm just saying it's like
I was just looking forward. I was like, okay, because they kept playing up her boobs.
Yeah.
It's like, look how big these
yeah.
boobies are.
They actually do like a close up of her boobs in like the opening montage or like during the audition.
Oh yeah, we're gonna see those, but nah.
Nope.
Damn it.
So the next day, Asia and Bo go off on a walk together where they meet this random old woman in a golf cart who just drives up to him out of nowhere, just like, hey guys.
She's like, you going to Kandie Land? You got a death wish?
Don't go to Kandie Land. And then just drives away with like her little dog on her lap in a golf cart.
I barely understand what she was saying.
Yeah.
Dude, and
what's the point of this old woman?
She was like 90.
Yeah.
with like this sun-beaten skin.
Oh, leathery, yeah.
I kind of loved her, though.
So she drives away, and then so Asia and Bo come across this old barn. Of course, they head inside to check it out.
Sure.
Just so happens that Tiny is in the barn, too. She watches him from the moment before she runs out of the barn, but Bo spots her, starts to go after her,
yeah.
but...
Oh, when Bo sees her, goes, hey, look, a dwarf! And he's so excited. He starts to chase her.
It's like she's a leprechaun. Like,
Yes!
I gotta get her gold.
That's what I was going to say. That's exactly... It's like, let's catch that little bitch.
Give me a pot of gold, dwarf.
He's just, look, a dwarf. And he just starts running right after her. What an asshole.
But he gets cut off by Jonah.
Who just, he gets in front of him and is standing in front of Jonah like, oh shit, whack. Just hits him with a hammer.
Asia screams. Jonah hits Bo over there with a hammer, knocking him out. Jonah grabs Asia, tosses her down, and hits her 4 times in the head with a hammer.
Full force.
Like
he's raising up. He's a big dude.
He's a big dude.
He's raising up as high as he can, coming down. Whack, whack,
yeah,
whack.
It's 4
whack.
distinct blows, heavy blows.
She's fucking dead.
Anybody would be dead.
She should be fucking mush-faced, fucking broken skull all over.
Yeah.
Like, just dead.
Yeah. I totally agree. It's just mush face is what. So we cut to the blonde model Brooke doing a photo shoot with Brody. Afterwards, they share smoke. They talk. Brody says they thinks it's creepy that there's no one else ever seems to come out here. That they're all alone out in this location. Excuse me. We jump right back to the barn where Asia is tied up and screaming. Who we just should be mush face. It's just nothing but her head should be pudding.
Yeah, there should be we're talking like, Negan wailing on Glenn, kind of nothing left.
It's bad. It should be destroyed.
Yeah, there should be nothing left.
But her mouth is pried open by one of those weird dentist.
But it's like it's like an archaic one. It's like an old. It's stainless steel.
I'm just saying, it's one of those weird things.
And it holds the mouth open so a dentist or an orthodontist can get in and do some work. So, it just looks weird.
Yeah, it does. But like I said, she should be fucking dead.
And she's got a little cut.
Tiny
little cut, and she's completely with it.
Yeah, just a little bit of blood on the forehead coming down her face, and she's fine from 4 fucking hammer blows to the head.
Full on.
Jonah uses a blowtorch now to heat up the end of this wooden pole, and then takes the heated up end and presses it up against Asia's eyes, basically killing her. Just burns her eyes out with this.
I don't know how I feel about this scene. It's kind of like, ooh, it's kind of creepy and stuff, but at the same time, I don't know how hot it would be. That moist, that soft eye hole.
Soft eye hole.
Would probably do, put out, like, it'd take a long time to do some damage.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like on fire.
And it wasn't like a red hot poker.
No, if it was metal that would heat up, it was like wood that was kind of.
And he heated up for like 30 seconds.
Yeah, I don't think
yeah,
I mean, it would hurt, but honestly, I don't think it
but-
would kill her either. Like, blind her, but I don't think it would kill her. Because he didn't like impale her through the skull.
Right. It's like, I understand it's low budget. I give him credit for being kind of unique.
I did too. I was like, oh, that's okay. That's
Yeah.
a unique,
It's
creative,
a pretty.
but
It's a
I don't know if
unique,
it would fully
creative
kill her.
move. I just would have maybe. You could have done something. Just have like a hot poker on the on there for a long time.
Yeah.
Or something along those lines. Or the sticks a little heated up for a minute or two. I appreciate it. I just think they could have, even with the low budget, they could have probably done.
Yeah,
it a
they
little
could have
bit
done.
better.
They tweaked it a little bit to make it a little more impactful. Yeah, I agree.
mean, we're nitpicking, but yeah, that's what we do. Come on.
So we go back to the family house. The father's looking for Tiny, and he goes into her room, goes through her stuff, and he finds her journal. Of course, he reads through it, and he reads an entry that says how much Tiny wishes Jonah would just kill her father. And he also finds the driver's license of the missing sister who we saw murdered in the beginning of the movie. Back at the barn, Bo is slapped awake by Tiny. She tells Bo to run before he ends up like her, points over to Asia's dead body. Bo screams, runs off.
You twisted little midget! And runs away. And of course, he got hit in the face with a fucking hammer also. And he's got a small cut.
Small cut, yeah.
I mean, he's bleeding, but it's like, shit.
Yeah. So more photo shoot scenes, this time with Marley, while Jess is starting to get jealous in the background from all the attention Marley's getting. While that's going on back at the family house, the father confronts Tiny about the missing girl's license. He ends up smacking her around as Jonah watches through a window.
Again, pissed off, takes it out on the little person and his daughter. Jesus.
The father hears a noise, looks up just to see time to see Jonah coming at him. We fade to black, fade in on the father tied up in a chair. Tiny tells her father that this is Jonah. Jonah then smashes the father's kneecaps with a hammer, then cuts off one of the father's fingers with a knife.
To which the father goes, "Is that all you got?"
Yeah, he's like,
"Fuck, dude."
Yeah, like, really? Anyway, so finally Jonah just kills him by slicing his throat with a machete. All the while, Tiny just watches with a smile on her face.
Yeah, and it's like he kills him, but then you see he's still like sawing.
He's sawing it, yeah.
So he's like sawing his head. You can tell he's trying to saw his head off.
Yeah.
And Tiny's loving it.
Yeah.
She's.
So we jump to Brody, Brooke, and Marley. They're sitting at a picnic table waiting for Bo and Asia to get back. Bo returns ranting and raving about Asia being dead, a midget, and an ogre in a barn. No one wants to believe him, of course. They all argue over it for a bit. Jess thinks this is all bullshit and tells Mari to come with her to go find Asia.
God damn this scene. Let's go back a little bit.
All right, let's back it up then.
Here comes fucking Bo out of the fucking woods. Help! I need help! Overruns, photographer to help out. He's like, what's going on, man? He sees that he's been hit in the head with a fucking hammer.
Yeah, he's bleeding.
He's like, she's dead. She's been dead. Her eyes have been burned out. Oh, my God, she's dead. He's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Why don't you have a seat? And we're going to talk about it. He's, okay. Okay. He just goes, all right. And just casually sits down at the lakeside. I'm talking like just laid back. Most relaxed motherfucker you've ever seen. Okay, don't mind that he just escaped from being murdered after seeing one of his girlfriends or friends being killed.
Yeah.
He makes an escape and he just casually kicks it on the bank while they discuss it.
I know,
with his head bleeding.
He's just
I mean,
reclined
God
back like, what?
damn, there's no reality.
None.
I mean, even for a horror movie, you gotta stretch it. I get it. You gotta have to play. But fuck, this guy just relaxed like he's just.
I know, like,
he's
the
like
director fucked up here. The director's like, you know what?
He's on vacation.
Yeah, like he's like, it's like the director said, you know what? Just sit here and appreciate the pretty nature sunset.
Yeah.
No, you should be like, you know what? Pace around in the background. You need to act worried and upset, even though we're not focused on you. Be in the background. Look concerned.
Look worried
and
because
like,
you're afraid they're not going to believe you, and
Yeah.
you're trying to explain this incredible situation and how fucked up it is. And nah.
Now, So Bo, of course, he's like, I want to leave now. But Brooke tells him to wait a bit longer, which is so bullshit because Brooke even tells Bo that, hey, I believe you about what you said happened.
Yeah.
Which is fine. That's fine and all. But if you believe him, why would you want to sit around and wait and do nothing? Wouldn't you want to get the fuck out of Dodge and go get help or at least report Asia's missing at least? Like, do something? Like, I believe you, but let's just sit here for right now and do nothing.
Let's just wait.
Yeah.
And God damn it. And again, I know we mentioned it earlier, but no cell phone reception. I'm really tired of that old chestnut. I'm really getting tired of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This movie was made with 2013. I mean, that's getting tough to explain away.
Yeah.
That's getting pretty fucking tough to explain away. Like maybe 2008, but fuck.
Anyway, yeah, Brody, Jess, and Mario, they head off together to look for Asia, leaving Bo and Brooke behind. Jess and Marley now have magically changed clothes in the 10 seconds they were off screen.
That's what they do.
They were like, hey, all right, we're all together. Let's go look for Asia. Quick cut to them walking away. Completely new outfits.
Poof.
In a matter of like, snap your finger, new clothes. It's ridiculous.
Continuity error or just costume change. Or
Man.
just like their models are out on the, let's just change our clothes.
Yeah, but it's like, hey, a friend might be dead or missing, or
you're right. That was a complete fuck
we need to, but we need to change our clothes first. That's more important.
You're right.
So they come to an old like standalone garage. It's kind of a detached building. Jess refuses to go inside while Marley heads in by herself. Inside, Marley sees something in an old car that causes her to run out of the building, hand over her mouth.
Runs out of there like Carl Lewis in a sprint.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. She takes off and doesn't fucking stop.
So Brody and Jess go in to see what upset Marley, and they find Asia's dead body in the front seat of a car, slumped over the steering wheel.
Why?
Yeah, why? When we just saw in the barn,
So that means the killer would have to pick her up,
move her,
take
there.
her to a completely separate building,
yeah,
and place her in the automobile.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Why not just? They could have just gone to the barn. Like,
right?
Bo's like, hey, we were in a barn. Go look for this barn. And they go, okay, well, there's the barn Bo was talking about.
That
Let's
would
go
have
in.
made way more sense.
Yeah, I agree. It's
just.
It's like another excuse. Like, hey, we have this old barn or garage. Let's use it. Well, how are we gonna use it? Well, let's put the body in there.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense though.
Right.
There's no. So, now, like Aaron said, just like Marley is hauling ass through the woods.
She's fucking gone. I mean, this scene. I like this scene.
Yeah, she is hauling ass, and this is where I had to say, God damn, this girl's body is amazing.
Because you see it in all of its
motion,
athletic
her
glory.
stomach is tight and sexy. Her legs are like perfect. Her body is like
running her ass off.
Yeah,
and it's like they have scene after scene after scene of her running. Like, it's good camera work too. Like, there's a scene where she's like running through the woods and they're keeping alongside of her. The camera's not wiggling all weird.
Well, it's a steady. It's a steady.
Well,
but from a distance, and
it was really well done.
It's fine. But this is where I fell in love with this girl's body. I gotta keep saying it, but it's like one of the most perfect bodies I've ever seen. So good on you.
Marsha liked her. Marsha liked her.
I did. Anyway, she ends up running past Jonah, who was kind of lurking in the woods with an axe. He ends up fouling her as she slows down to a walk, and then she takes a breather by leaning up against a tree, and we just cut away.
So we're like, okay, he's on her tail.
Yeah.
She's next.
And we cut back to Jess and Brody. They're heading back to the camp. When they get back, they find Brooke and Bo out in the lake in a small rowboat.
Just out in the middle of the lake.
Just like, sipping on wine, having crackers, just chilling.
Yeah, just like the director's like, enjoy the scenery. He's like, well, I got this bottle of wine, and I got this pretty rare cheese, so
So
the only crackers I have though are Ritz. We'll make the best of it, baby.
But Bo's like, hey, the killer can't get us out here in the lake.
Pretty good logic.
I'd say, which isn't really the worst idea. Like, it's not that bad. Like, yeah, okay, good point.
Yeah.
But Brody's like, you're a fucking idiot. Get back to shore.
This was weird because Brody goes, he goes, there's a canoe. Get back to shore.
Yeah. Like, the
They
killer
actually shot, they like panned over the canoe.
Yeah.
Like, why didn't you use the canoe? Get back to shore. Like, why would you even say that?
I think it's implying that you're not that because the killer could just take this canoe and row out to you as well, but you're still safe because you're going to see him coming along.
Getting a canoe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got to say with Bo, like, it's not the worst idea.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, I liked it. It wasn't bad.
So basically, they all meet up back on shore. Bo wants to get in the cars and leave. Jess refuses to leave without Marley, storms off to find her.
Fucking bitch.
Brody tells Bo and Brooke to go ahead and leave in the car, that once they get back to the road, call for help.
That's a tough sentence. Brody told Bo and Brooke.
Yeah. And once they get back to the main road, call for help while Brody goes after Jess. So apparently there's like a distinctive like force field where cell phone reception just gets cut off. Like once the road, it works, but once you go past the road, apparently there's nothing.
Go find cell reception.
Yeah. It's like,
go out on an adventure, guys.
Yeah. So Bo and Brooke drive off, but they don't make it too far before the car just dies and won't start back up.
Like, they make it like 20 feet.
Yeah. It really seems
They
like
really
nothing.
do, yeah. They make it like 20 feet.
Brooke tells him to pop the hood, that she used to work on cars with her brothers. She fixes the car, but right as she closes the hood and turns to get back
She
in.
closes the hood, gives a smiling thumbs up, double thumbs up, like, yay!
Yay! I did it!
And then who comes out from behind?
Jonah comes out of nowhere with a fucking chainsaw.
With a fucking chainsaw.
And just chainsaws her to death.
And it's like chainsaw fucking.
Yeah, it
You
really
know,
is.
He's holding it down by his crotch, and she's going, just taking it like a dead fish.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's supposed to be more like going into her stomach. But it
Well,
almost
yeah.
looks like- But again, we have another instance here where, like, the chainsaw just magically starts up with
we just saw Jonah with the axe stalking
Marley. Yeah.
We just saw that less than 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I mean, and then he's got a chainsaw. And he's at the campsite.
Which I guess is maybe a push button chainsaw, because I don't think those exist. But it's like he doesn't come up with it running. He's not like, you don't hear as he approaches him. He just pops up like a ninja, and then all of a sudden it's just started and going. Yeah. It's like people forget how chainsaws work in movies. Like it. God damn it. So
he thunderfucks her with a chainsaw,
yeah,
and she's dead.
So Bo freaks out, which he rightfully should, and drives off in reverse. We go back to Jess and Brody in the woods looking for Marley. They decide to split up to cover more ground before the sun goes down, and we all know how that always ends up. So Jess ends up at the old Kandie house, or the one with the 3 couches on the porch.
Redneck Riviera.
Yeah. Inside, she finds Tiny, who's just standing there, not answering any of Jess's questions. Jess
decides to go assault the
she's
little person too.
She tries to grab him, like shake, like, why would you talk to me? But she's knocked out from behind by Jonah
with a fucking hammer.
Another hammer,
dude. It's hammer time.
Yeah. Can't touch this. Night falls, and we find Jess tied up, screaming in the bathtub. We go back to Bo, who's still driving around. So this guy must have been driving for hours in the middle of a field.
They showed it in dark. That it was bright. The sun was going down, but it wasn't dark.
It wasn't even going down when they left.
It was getting close to going down.
It was maybe 3 in the afternoon.
Maybe 4.
Maybe 4.
Regardless.
Yeah.
It was very bright.
Very bright.
And now it's pitch black.
Pitch black.
He should be miles away.
He should be the next fucking county over, man.
Miles away.
Yeah, he should be gone. But he's still around, apparently. So he comes across the Marley running up towards him.
How far has she been running?
Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
He's driving, and she comes running like, what?
It's amazing. What an athlete.
She should be like gold medal marathon running, like enter in the Olympics, man. Because pre-Fontaining.
Well, the logic of just the sun and driving away, even if you're doing 10 miles an hour, He's got to at least be 20 miles. At 10 miles an hour. And she's just... Boom, boom, she's ahead of him. He catches up with her. He catches up with her. Fuck. She's just ripping and roaring, man. I love her.
I love her too. She gets in the car crying. Bo now manages to get a signal on his phone, so he calls for help. But who does he call?
You.
Not the fucking police,
Not
that's
the
for
army,
sure.
not a detective, not even his mom.
No, he calls his goddamn Aunt Faye and leaves a voice message to send help to the lake. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's the worst.
This makes zero, of all the things, this might be the most nonsensical, stupidest thing in this whole movie.
And they even mention it.
Yeah.
She even says, "Why aren't you calling the police?" And he just ignores her.
Like, why in the blue fuck would you call your aunt instead of 911? This is just shitty writing at its finest. It's really, at least they acknowledge it, but still, like, why?
But why would you even, like...
Why would this be even his first impulse? Like, no person should his first instinct, oh, I need to call my aunt. No, I need to call the fucking cops first. I'll call my aunt later if I survive
Marley
this.
or whatever, I would start just punching him in the
Yeah.
face. Be like, give me that phone, you dumb bastard.
Punch him in the nuts, take the phone. Yeah, I agree with that. Meanwhile, Brody has now found his way to the candy house, even though we originally saw him going opposite directions that Jess did when they split up. So, but somehow he has now come back this way. So again, it makes zero sense. He's about to go inside when he's forced to hide in between the couches on the porch when Jonah comes out of the house and walks by him. And after he leaves, Brody goes in, finds Jess tied up and bloody in the bathtub. He gets her down, helps her out of the tub. And now he says, stay here while I go get help.
Jesus.
Again, are you fucking kidding me? How? Why?
She's hurt. She's limping. Okay, she's got to weigh like 115 pounds.
Barely. She's the skinniest, strongest.
And yeah, he's not the biggest guy, but he can help her.
Throw
limp
her over
along.
the shoulder and go.
That's my first thought. I'd be like, well, just chuck her over your shoulder and get you going.
First, you just saw the killer leave. You know he's in the vicinity and nearby. And he's most likely going to come back because this is his house. So why would you leave her there? Just get the fuck out. It's like, nope, stay here.
Oh, yeah. And what does he do when he goes to find help? He tries to fucking call people on his phone.
Yep.
After we've well established that this is a dead zone.
Yep.
You're not getting any service.
He goes outside to try to get a signal, but...
Fuck you, Brody.
And he keeps walking further away to try, maybe I'll get another 20 feet. He'll give me a signal.
Damn. God damn it.
Jess gets up, slowly makes her way to the front of the door. She opens it up to leave, but dun dun dun, there's Jonah. He grabs her by the throat, and it's like really awkwardly forces her up the stairs.
Yeah,
it's a really awkward looking
really
scene.
Strange. It's like he's got his hand around her neck, and he pushes her against the stairs, but then he steps up towards her, and she just kind of scoots herself back.
One step at a time.
Yeah, but the whole time he's holding her neck, and he's walking, and she's scooting back.
Yeah.
They're helping each
other. It's really awkward and bad. It does not look good at all.
I don't know how I feel about it. I thought it was kind of neat. My thought is maybe he was giving her that chance of maybe she feels like she might get away, but then he takes a step forward. That
I didn't get that at all. I thought there was just shitty cinematography and a bad director's choice.
I think maybe that's what they were going for, but it wasn't well done.
I think he was just
somehow get up the
trying
stairs.
to drag her up the stairs by the throat. How can we do it? Well, this is the only way we can do it because
you don't want to hurt anybody.
Don't hurt.
Yeah.
I just think it was a shitty choice and just poorly done. But anyway, where was I? Anyway, meanwhile outside, Tiny pops up, tells Brody that Jonah doesn't like pretty people, and tells him that he's gonna die, and then Tiny just walks off.
Yeah, dude, fuck Brody. This is so ridiculous. He's a shit actor. I mean, he's got no inflection, no change in his face expressions.
No,
no, subtle God damn it. You see this little person who's just obviously here at the house, and she knows who this is, and she says something fucking creepy and weird. He's like, whatever, dude. Like, he just can't be bothered. He's too fucking cool for school. He's like, whatever.
Yeah.
Dick. He's not like, who are you? What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Can you help me?
Yeah.
You know, just,
Yeah, his acting is atrocious.
Just flips his hair back and whatever, dude.
So Brody goes back into the house now, heads upstairs where he finds Jonah scalping Jess.
Yeah.
Like literally scalping her.
Not a bad shot.
No, it's not
pretty
bad.
good.
It actually is pretty. It's one of the better effects in the movie. Brody charges Jonah, which just a genius idea.
God damn
Instead
it,
of running
you
away. This guy's like
140
3 times the
pounds.
size of Brody.
And he's charging like someone who might be close to 300 pounds.
Yeah.
And you know how this is going to turn out.
Jonah
not
just
good.
easily just manhandles Brody. He smashes Brody's head through a wall, which causes Brody to get stuck like head first through the wall. Like it's almost like something you've seen like a Three Stooges episode.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
it really
just
is.
his head stuck through the wall.
Yeah. So with his head stuck in the wall, Jonah basically then just fucks Brody up the ass with the chainsaw, killing him.
And this is Jonah's best. This is Brody's best acting.
Yeah.
This is his best acting because it is kind of good because he's stuck in the wall, he can't get out, and Jonah starts putting the chainsaw through the wall next to him, intimidating him, you know, setting like and making it more intense. And this is where Brody's like, he's screaming, he's afraid. This is his best acting. Where was this? Where was any of this during the actual film?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Because
agree.
you can tell the guy looks terrified.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing a real good job of selling it. But there was none of this. None of it in the early part of the movie.
Not at all.
Apparently it's there, but only for the money shot, you know?
So we go back to Bo and Mario now in the car that has now run out of gas as well. Once again, Bo gets out to check under the hood where he says, oh, the gas line's been cut. Whatever. So now we jump to the mom of the family back in the house, and she's like doing her taxes or something. And she gets a knock on the door. When she answers it, she finds a box on her doorstep. She opens the box, and inside she finds the severed head of her husband.
Well, it's covered in straw, and she's
yeah,
got
hey.
to pull it back, and then it reveals the severed head.
Yeah,
and the
but
reason
still.
I mentioned it's covered in straw because I think that was a clever way for an indie horror film to not show the, I imagine, cheap severed head.
Yeah.
Because if you showed the severed head by itself, it's probably not, you know, Hollywood quality
course
where
not.
it's perfect. But it's enough that you can tell it's that guy's head, and it's got enough straw in it that you're like, oh my god! It's like it's a good. I thought it was a good trick, a good move on an indie level to still have the impact of a severed head, but also be covered with like a little bit of straw.
Interesting.
I thought that was a pretty good move.
All right. No. Nice take on that.
Yeah.
It was nicely done. So anyway, the mom frantically starts looking for Tiny, but can't find her anywhere, of course. We cut to Bo, Marley sitting in the car. They spot a car coming down the road towards them. This turns out to be the mother who offers to help them. Now, again, I need to point out how zero sense this makes, how little sense this makes, because
they're driving
away from the camp and the farm, but the mother comes towards them.
And we just saw her.
And we just saw her at her house.
So did that mean she like looped way
Yeah,
far around
I mean,
and is somehow coming back towards her?
So yeah, both of them would have been driving towards the camp instead of away from the camp if this is how
I don't understand.
The mom should have driven up behind them,
right,
or pulled up alongside and said, "Hey, you guys need help," as she's leaving, not face to face. It
doesn't
fucks everything up that way. We cut to Bo and Marley. They're now in the mother's minivan. All three of them are driving down the road. She tells them she plans on asking the sheriff to help her find her daughter. Bo tells him, hey, I saw your daughter. She's with the big ogre guy in the barn. And now the mom goes into like more storytelling mode about Jonah and his backstory, which is the same stuff we've heard before. They drive down the road. Tiny walks out onto the road from the dark. Mom pulls over, gets out, argues with Tiny to get back in the car.
This is like a decent shot, actually. You know, they have a behind shot of Tiny as the car's pulling up. It's a pretty decent shot. I like the shot.
Okay.
But it's like, okay, grab that little bitch and throw her in the car.
Yeah. The mom's
not that hard.
It really isn't. She's like 3.5 feet tall, 4 feet.
She's a little person.
She's a little person.
She's
you
a
can
little
easily
person.
just drag her.
She's been used to getting slapped around by her dad. She's not going to mind getting a little roughed up by her mom.
So,
Okay?
but apparently mom isn't able to do it, and Tiny gets away and
scurries off
into
a cornfield.
like the children of the corn. She goes. And while all this is going on, Jonah pops up like a fucking ninja, grabs Marley out of the car, pulls her out of the minivan, and manages to do all of this without making a single sound because Bo's sitting like right next to her and doesn't even notice this until he actually turns around to talk to Marley and sees that she's missing.
And sees Jonah like take her into the cornfield.
And he's just like, oh shit.
Like, where are they in relation to the
farm,
to the farm, to the campground, whatever? Because it seems like they should be miles away.
Yeah, the distance and the layout of this, or the geography of this campground farm makes no sense. Yeah, it's so convoluted. You have no idea. It doesn't make any sense. The mom gets back in the car. Bo's like, it's just us now. And he's like, trying to be funny about Marley just getting kidnapped right next to him.
Yeah, it's like, from this moment on, they have like a little shtick.
Yeah. And mom's like, yeah, I know, but I think I know where they're going, so let's
like, there hasn't been any shtick before. or at least it was like, during moments of levity.
Yeah.
And now it's like, this is like the most intense part. Yeah, it's the last girl. You know where they're going. Mom's in for it. You know, Bo's in for it. They're gonna go. Let's get a little corny.
Yeah.
You know.
So they drive off, and we go back to the barn
because she's like, I think I know where they're at.
Yeah. Where Jonah drops Marley in a pile of hay. He smashes her knees with a hammer and then leaves her. Meanwhile, the mom is still storytelling about Kandie Land and Jonah and just rambling on. The two of them arrive at the old Kandie property, which, remember, is supposed to be an isolated farm out in the middle of nowhere. But when they pull up and get out of the car, we clearly see like a highway behind, like all these cars like zipping by.
4 or 5 cars driving by.
Yeah, in the background.
It's like someone's house.
Yeah.
There's a very well
like off a main street and it's pulling into somebody's driveway.
So many people. Fuck.
Bo refuses to go inside. Mom's like, whatever. She gets a shotgun out of the back of her minivan, and
to which Bo's like, "You're gonna need a bigger gun."
Yeah, a Jaws reference.
getting more sticky.
Yeah. And so now Bo's like, all right, whatever, and the two of them head into the barn. They go inside where they find Tiny messing around with Marley, who is tied up in a chair that's been placed on a stack of hay barrels. And she has like all these hooks sticking out of her face.
She's got
fishing hooks that have been like hooked through her face,
like through the cheeks
and the forehead,
like on her nose,
yeah,
and chin.
And the fishing hooks are attached to wires that lead off screen. The mom struggles with Tiny again, and again Tiny manages to pull away from her mom and runs over to Jonah.
Man. Obviously,
the mom,
Dad knew how to handle her.
But
Mom doesn't know shit.
Come on, I call boys like your mom should be like have a death grip on her child. Like I'm gonna protect you. We're getting the fuck out of here. She's barely even holding her. I'm like, no way does a mom like let go of her child that easily in this situation.
Yeah, you are a dad.
I am a dad now, and there's no I'm like death grip. I don't care if I'm breaking your arm to get you out of here. That's my job.
Yeah.
You know, like we're going. Your arm will heal. I'll feel bad about it, but at least I'll save your life.
Right.
Yeah. So, anyway, the mom pleads with Jonah not to hurt Tiny or anyone else, blah, blah. Jonah has flashbacks of his father cutting up his face and killing his mom. And then we see Jonah start to slowly pull on like this chain or wire that he's holding in his hand. And this is connected to the wires in Marley's face. And the hooks begin to pull away from Marley's face. One of the hooks rips through her cheek as the other hooks slowly like rip her face off,
pulling her flesh from her face.
Yeah, but we get a blackout before we actually see the skin like face get ripped off. Blackout, and we hear Tiny say he doesn't like pretty people, and roll the credits. That's Scarred.
God damn it.
Yeah. God damn.
Like,
I don't know of a better way to put it.
You
than
got
just
the
goddamn-
gun. You got the killer on the
Yeah,
ropes. He's
didn't-
right
she never
there.
even shot the
Oh,
gun.
you have him there. You got the gun on him. All you have to do is pull the trigger. He's pulling the and it just cuts. So,
Yeah.
do you shoot him?
Yeah, they should have at least had a gun shot. I mean, the mom never shoots the gun.
Well, she gave it to fucking what's his nuts when she was wrestling with Tiny.
Oh, Bo?
Yeah.
Okay, then Bo should have shot the gun, but
so, I
he
mean,
didn't do it.
But regardless, they had him dead to rights.
Yeah.
He's got one arm on Tiny, one arm on the fucking
Wire,
wires.
chain, or whatever, yeah.
You know, Tiny's so small, you're not going to even hit her with
No,
a,
you can shoot right over
like,
her.
yeah, even with a shotgun shooting shot everywhere,
Just aim
you're
up,
probably
you're
not going
fine.
to, just aim a little higher. But there's nothing. It's like you're reaching that crescendo and then
Yeah, I agree. It's not as bad of an ending as Playing with Dolls was, where it just black out and right as they like grab each other. But yeah, it's like you have a gun you do nothing with. It's a kind of a bullshit ending.
the girl's about to get a lot of her face ripped off.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Which, of
it's
course,
like,
again, it goes
if
back
he
to the
got
line where Jordan, I
shot-
hope nothing happens to her pretty face.
Yeah,
at this
yeah,
game,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's the face coming off.
God
But
damn it, man.
yeah, it's very unsatisfying. With that, let's go into favorite kills.
Don't act like you didn't love it. Favorite kill.
All right, so favorite kills. We have kills in this movie.
Yeah.
Some are creative, or at least a little unique, a little different. But you're right, they're very torture porn-esque. But anyway, what do you have this week as your favorite kill?
Mine was the opening kill.
The opening
the one
one.
where she was tied down to the car.
Interesting.
I thought it would set the mood a little bit. Again, like I said, I'm not a huge fan of torture porn, but he didn't really torture her physically, but there was some psychological torture, if you will, like the intimidation of banging on stuff and getting her, kind of getting into it, and then slitting her throat, and then she's dead. And yeah, he smashed her face a whole bunch, but she's already dead. She's not gonna feel it.
Yeah.
So I don't mind that so much. But yeah, I mean, I like the way she looked, that Suicide Girl look. I like it. On top of the car, I thought it was a cool intro. Cool. I thought we might be onto something here, but that was my favorite kill.
Okay. Mine. At first, I was gonna go with Asia because I did even like. But more talking about, like, I don't think that would really kill her, but I will give him points for creativity for the burning of the eyes. It's different, and it's. I might say it's completely original or unique, but it's different enough that it's not like again like a throat slash or stab. It's different.
Right.
But I think even though we don't really fully see what happens, I'm probably gonna go with Marley at the end getting her face ripped off.
It's a pretty good effect.
That's again, I'll give him points for creativity and uniqueness there. Again, the pretty person having her, what's more important to the pretty person than their pretty face, and you take that off. And again, the effect when you see the skin starting to pull away is pretty good.
Yeah.
For this really low budget. It sucked. I mean, and I probably would have been, again, don't know if that would have fully killed her, having your flesh ripped. I mean, it would fucking hurt and damage you, but I don't think it's a full-on kill, just like Asia. So I don't really know if it was considered death.
I mean, I don't know either.
Because
It all depends on how many hooks you have in the face, because just like a few here sparsely put in, they'd rip out individually.
Yeah.
But if you had several, and it looked like there was a good amount in her face, and you pulled
Like 5 at least.
well, then that it would just pull out individually. But if you had several, I mean, then it would support that it would actually pull a whole lot more off.
But even if it's just the skin, though, or it's the muscle, I don't know if that would kill you because you're not.
It wouldn't.
Yeah, you would be horribly disfigured and fucked up. But I don't know if it would. I don't think you'd be dead.
It hurt a lot.
Yeah.
You know.
So again, I don't
Probably
know
go get a little plastic surgery.
So I guess those aren't even favorite. Those aren't kills then either. But I guess they're meant to be. But I don't know if they really would be. Regardless, I guess I'll stick with Marley or Asia. Those were the two most unique.
The chainsaw death wasn't bad either.
It wasn't bad.
The effects,
it was a little drawn out. It was a little drawn out.
The effects really aren't very bad. The effects are pretty decent for a low budget film. They're not like, oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah.
But it's
we've seen a lot worse.
It's good meat and potatoes effects.
Practical
I'm
effects.
I'm satisfied.
All right. Yeah, the chainsaw kill was fine, but it was a little drawn out for my going on a little too long. But
yeah, I don't care about being drawn out. It just didn't look like shit.
Yeah.
It looked decent.
All right. Let's move on to odds and ends.
Not only did they watch these films, they researched them too. Ugh, what is wrong with these guys?
All right, ratings. IMDb gives it a 5.4 out of 10, which is actually, I thought, high for this. I wasn't expecting to be that high.
I agree.
Rotten Tomatoes, nothing into nothing. There's no thermometer score and no audience score yet for this movie. In Amazon, fucking 3.2 out of 5, so right there with Amazon.
Where it's always at.
Yeah. Plot keywords. There were only 7 plot keywords for this movie. Model, murder, small town, independent film, shotgun, gore, and serial killer. So nothing real fun or outrageous.
Fishhook face.
Fishhook face.
Stump eye burn. Midget.
Midget.
Little person. Come on.
Yeah, that's exactly shit.
Those are gimmies.
Yeah. Trivia, nothing. And sadly, also, no budget game this week either. I know. I'm always sad about that as well. I always want the budget game. But we do go into 5-star reviews.
These special movies have a place in these special people's hearts. 5-star reviews.
All right, from Amazon customer, Scarred is another great movie produced by Fright Tech Picks. If you love scary movies, then check this out. Boring, nothing funny there, but just there's only 3 of them so far. Robert A. Benton Jr. says, for an independent horror movie, this was really good. A throwback to the 80s with cool kills and beautiful women. I don't know about beautiful.
Hey, I didn't think they were bad looking, man.
I'm not. Marley was hot. The age, but
half. Let's say half of them were hot.
But then Jess really brought that the average.
Man,
down.
that really bothers you. You really don't like Jess, man.
Nothing against her as a person, but
these chicks were hot, and then there's one that's like, nah. Like, nope, she has breezy average way down.
All right, I'm being a little too harsh. You're right. I'm
You
sorry. I'm being too harsh. All right. Anyway, and then James V. Burney says, excellent homage to old school horror movies. Need more like this. Love it. Thumbs up. 5 stars. I wrote down 1 4-star review just because, like I said, I didn't, there was no trivia, no budget, so I, from Brett writes, great slasher/horror movie homage to the great 80s. The DVD includes the awesome video to the song Screams and Whispers by the rock band Impending Circle. If you are into slasher horror movies done right, you'll most definitely enjoy Scarred, aka Kandie Land. I imagine the negative reviews on here are from individuals that have never watched a slasher horror movie nor have any appreciation or understanding for what makes them fun to watch. 4 stars. Yeah, I agree with that. And then lastly, 1-star reviews, just because
we need some time.
And in fact, I agree with these people a bit more. Stephen P. Gutierrez simply writes, actor sucked, movie sucked. 1 star. From Movie Guy, bad, just no. I could have guessed from the description that it would be so horrible. I can't believe people actually spent money making this garbage. I could have produced this muck in my garage for $100. 1 star. Donna Rizzuto. The movie showed what inexperience is all about. Don't waste your money. And the last one from Joe Gladden. Pathetic acting. I could barely sit through 10 minutes. 1 star. So, got some range there.
Yeah, you do.
Got some both sides of the fence on that one. So we've read what other people thought now, both sides of the fence. Let's bring us to our final thoughts and our closing remarks here. So, Aaron, what do you say on Scarred this week?
I wasn't expecting much when I turned it on. I mean, I kind of looked at it, I saw it, I was like, I kind of see what I was getting into.
Right.
Even from the opening bits. I mean, the camera works. It's not the greatest sound, not the greatest camera quality. And yeah, we've been here before, crazy lone guy in the woods killing people. I mean, it's cliche.
Yeah.
But I have to say the kills were decent. The kills were pretty good. They at least paid homage to the cliche genre of the crazy guy in the woods who kills those stupid hot people who just happen to wind up there. I mean, they did it justice. That being said, it's a tired genre. It's been done a million times before, and it will probably still be done a million times more by independent filmmakers. Mm-hmm. That's why if you want to stand out, get the fuck out of there, man. Do something a little different. But I gotta say, I'm barely gonna say so bad it's scary. I'm really close on this one. And the reason is because, you know, I can tell they put some effort into it, but it was kitschy when it shouldn't have been kitschy. They had elements there. It was kitschy when it shouldn't have been kitschy, but kitschy can still work in these films.
Right.
You just got to know where to put it. You know, they had the sexy girls. Yeah, great. You know, we all like the sexy girls, but, you know, they didn't use them effectively enough. You know, they didn't use them correctly. So it just seems like they had all the ingredients to make the cake. They just didn't put them together in the right way.
Well said. Honestly, that's pretty much exactly what I was going to say. I am going to go So Bad It's Scary as well. And I'll kind of maybe touch on a few things you said as well, but I agree with you for most part. Like, the ingredients were there.
Right.
And it's been done a million times before, but it's been done better. And it will be done a million times more, and it will be done better. This movie had potential to be better. Like I said, some of the kills were unique and original. The practical effects were pretty solid for the low budget.
Which
they
you
had.
need, which is a main ingredient. Yeah.
But there's so many other flaws in this movie. Like, again, just the writing falls short. There's a lot of weird directing choices that don't make any sense. There's just the acting is awful for the most part. And your knowledge about the cake was pretty much exactly what I say. All of the ingredients are there to be good, but they didn't mix them properly, or they fucked them up, and you instead of getting a nice cake, you just get like a pile of mush. And you say it's not that this movie's unwatchable. It's not completely trash like some of the other stuff we've done, like, you know, Trapdoor or I'm calling a blank on top of my head right now.
Several of our movies, Jesus.
But at the same time, there's nothing really special about this either, except for like Marley's body, which is insane.
There's nothing special except that one hot chick.
Except for that watch. But it's kind of falls into like this category of like just it's forgettable.
Yes.
Which is I think even worse than being bad, because these bad movies live on in infamy and become kind of cult classics.
That's a very good way.
It's just kind of like forgettable. So. I mean, it's watchable, but I'm still saying So Bad It's Scary, just the fact that it doesn't stand out and messes up what had potential to be better. I could say more, but I'm not going to ramble on any more than that. So that's going to do it for this week. Aaron, tell the great listeners where they can find us.
All right, everybody. You can always check us out on our Facebook page, on our Instagram page, and check us out on Twitter at So Bad It's Scary. We are not Horrible Horror on Twitter. We are at So Bad It's Scary on Twitter. Of course, if you would like to listen to us, because that's the way you get a hold of us, is check us out on our Facebook, our Instagram, our Twitter, and of course, wait, I forgot, everybody, our actual website, Horrible Horror
don't forget
Podcast,
the actual website.
HorribleHorrorPodcast.com. Again, that is HorribleHorrorPodcast.com. And of course, if you want to listen to us, check us out at HorribleHorrorPodcast.com. Again, that's HorribleHorrorPodcast.com. But of course, you can check us out on iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean.
Yes, indeed. Also, for those of you who do follow us on, who listen on iTunes, one thing I have noticed that the more episodes we add, the older episodes are getting kind of taken off because there's only so much room. So I think like right now we're up to like our first 19 or 20 episodes are not on iTunes right now. If you want those though, you can go to our website and look them up there. You can download them off the website too, off the archives. But iTunes, like as we add more, the older ones are getting bumped.
Podbean also.
Is it happening on Podbean too?
No, you can.
No, I'm saying the Podbean has all of them.
You can go back to episode number 1 on our Podbean.
That's what I thought.
So iTunes, I don't know how.
It might just be a space thing, or that maybe we're not.
We might have
celebrity driven.
We
for
may
the
have
extra,
to pay some money.
Yeah, for the extra space. I don't know.
I don't want to pay any money because we do this for free.
We do this for free.
We do this for free for fun.
Speaking of, oh my God, how could I forget this? I just should have been at the top of the show.
What?
This should be top of the show news.
What?
And I totally forgot. So anyway, if you guys are still listening, good on you. So yeah, speaking of free, like I said, we do this for free out of our own pockets. But for those
times are getting tight, baby.
Times are getting tight. So for those of you really dedicated Moongoons, our faithful listeners, if you would so happen to choose to be to have that generous nature of you, and you donate some money to the show to help us continue to do this free of charge, and to actually also expand our content and bring you more, we have set up a Patreon page where you can go there and donate to the show. All the money goes straight to a separate account for the show only. And it goes
We don't
back
use it
to
for
the show.
us.
No, it goes back to the show. So, and there's a list of things like we can upgrade equipment, we can bring you more content, like maybe more YouTube videos. Maybe we'd like to save up and get some animated clips going, more merchandise, all sorts of stuff we want to do. So if you go to the Patreon, it's patreon.com/horrible horror. You can go there and donate. We're still working on it, but you can start donating. Even $1 and up helps. And
Yeah, you notice how we were late by a couple of weeks? We've been gone almost a month. Yeah, we've had some equipment issues.
yeah,
So yeah, we're this is all out of our pocket. This is all just us. Working.
There'll be.
Yeah.
We're working on. Aaron and I are going to work on this and come up with it. But there'll be tiers of donations. Like for different tiers, you'll maybe more bonuses and more perks for the more you donate. Like I said, maybe access to. Maybe we'll try to come up with some bonus content, or maybe personalized stuff, or like maybe like invites to. Maybe we'll do like horrible horror game nights, and you'll get invitation to
I'll come out
game
and
with
wash
us,
your car
in a bikini. And
you want to see it? I know you do.
So yeah, but yeah, you make those donations. It'll really help us out, and we can bring you more content, continue to bring you the show, and do more, which we would really love to do. So anyway, that's it for us this week. Watch more horror movies in the meantime, and remember, guys, to always keep it tight.